Well, in terms of those pathways to college, Ann, one of the things that we often see in the K-12 world is students who have multiple options. They have the different pathways in front of them, and they come to us in K-12 for advice on which pathway to go down. Here's the scenario that I get at least several times a year, and I would love to get your perspective on maybe what advice should I be giving to this student. It's usually a high performing student who gets good grades, good test scores, and has the option between a very prestigious, these, Ivy League type colleges, a very prestigious college at full price. You're talking about 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a year, not counting room and board, and perhaps a state school or a college that's not considered as prestigious, but heavy scholarships, maybe even a full scholarship, or something where they can transfer a lot of dual enrollment credits and effectively give themselves a tuition-free experience. When a student comes to us with those two choices, what should we be telling them? What should we be advising them? What are some of the things that we should tell that student to consider when making that choice?
Yeah, and that's it's a tough choice for a lot of students to make. The most important thing about going to college is not where you go to college, it's how you go to college.
Whoa.
I
You're
heard
giving
a
us some
great
good
phrase.
quotes today, Ann.
I heard a great phrase. I can't take credit for this one. I wish I could, but the most important name on your diploma is your own.
Oh, wow.
So make sure that that's your target, is getting your own name on your diploma. There was a study done a few years ago called the Gallup-Purdue Index, where they surveyed successful adults to try to determine what about their college experience had led to that success. And what they found in the survey was that it had absolutely nothing about where you went to college. It wasn't big versus small. It wasn't private versus public. It wasn't elite versus, lots of people get accepted. It wasn't urban or rural, nothing
Sure.
about that. It was all about specific experiences that you had as a student. It was things like feeling like professors cared about you, having the opportunity to apply classroom learning to a job or an internship, working on a project that took a semester or longer to complete, finding mentors among the faculty, participating in extracurriculars. All of those are available at lots and lots of different colleges. And I would say, and this is me speaking probably more as a parent than as an advisor, but having observed my own children and their friends go through this process, college is about relationships. So when you think of where's the best place for me to go, think about how you engage with people. How do you make friends? What types of classroom environment are you most likely to participate in? And I know it's easy to say, for example, oh, I want to be in a small, my student, if you're a parent, or I myself participate better in a smaller discussion-oriented environment. Here's the thing, lots of students perform really well in an anonymous environment. Maybe they're like my son, where they have a high-performing twin sister who they're used to being compared to. My kids, I have twins. My daughter we call her a D1 mathlete. My son was a very normal kid. She was in a similar situation to that student, where she was accepted to some very elite, highly selective schools and had a full tuition scholarship at our in-state school, University of Oregon. My son went to University of Arizona, which is a school that you can kind of sign up and go. And I don't say that to denigrate Arizona. Arizona has a very different mission than where my daughter went to school. And here's the thing. So she went to one of those sub 10% acceptance rate colleges. He went to a college that you sign up and go. They both graduated in the spring, and they have identical jobs. Same type of company, same management training program, same salary, same benefits, but for the fact that he was finance and she was computer science, so their specific job function is different, they ended up in the same place with really different pathways. So I would say to that student, look at a variety of factors. So what does the financial piece of it look like? Is that full price college something that's within reach for your family? And how do you engage as a student, as a person, with friends? and which environment is more likely to be the one that you're going to engage in. If you're concerned about, big class sizes versus small discussion sizes, does that public school with the big scholarships have an honors college where you might be in smaller classrooms?
Yeah.
Smaller programs? Are there research opportunities, things like that? Because oftentimes scholarships will have faculty mentorship, research opportunities, things like that as part of the scholarship program, which will give you a little bit more of that small school experience. I would also say colleges have the same stuff. They all have job placement programs. They all have access to Handshake, which is where most of the job placements are happening.
That's
They
true.
all have academic advisors. It's just, sometimes at a smaller school, it's more of a push environment where that all gets pushed onto you and all you have to do is pick up what's being pushed at you. Sometimes at a bigger school, it's more of a pull environment where you have to be the one who goes and pulls all of that out. And that's okay too, because that's a really good life skill. Learning how to find who that advisor is and schedule a time with them and talk with them is something that will benefit you